I am back. Okay, so we're on this beach scene. It should look something like this. It should fit something like this, and we're going to create a layer mask to gradually smooth the fade. So a great way to do this is make sure you're on the layer mask and take away some of the blue ocean. So we're going to get our black tool. You can make it pretty big, and you can start and make sure your hardness is all the way down so it does a fade kind of like that. Now again, we're comparing. If you want more of a fade, you can take your opacity down and your flow down, and you can gradually go in there and then a little bit more of a fade. It's also wanting us to, let's see what's doing about the sky. So we're going to use layer mask to hide the sky and make the sky area transparent. Mask carefully and accurately along the ground, between the branches, leaves, and palm trees. So it's wanting us to kind of get rid of the sky. So we're going to go back up to take away the sky, like so you can see the clouds. Be careful around the trees so you don't get into them, and that it looks natural, like so. Be careful along that line because I think I've gone too far. We can go back here. Like so. We're going to go back to here, and we're going to take that back away so we have a horizon. Like so. So get that as close as you can. And we have a nice puffy cloud. We're going to beach image. All right, I think that's what we're going to do for right now. The next one, we're going to create and save a radial gradient using a light blue from the water and white. On a new layer, we're going to fill in and save window selection with a gradient and put it behind the blue water beach layer. Asking me here. So we're going to do another gradient. Oops. Put it behind the blue water beach, and it wants us to create a gradient. The gradient is going to be radial. Where is my radial at? Oh, crap. We're going to use the light blue of the water, and then we're going to use in white. And on a new layer, we're going to fill in the saved window selection from the gradient and put it behind the blue water beach layer. So again, it's this selection. Hit W to select it. Go back to that layer, hit gradient, hit radial right there, and then fill in. Put tie-dye image behind the blue water beach image and put it in front the blue white gradient. Scale it proportionately. So we're going to get our tie-dyed image. I'm going to drag it over here. Tie-dye, we're going to put it behind the blue water beach, but in front of the blue and white gradient. We're going to scale it. So Command T. Why won't we scale it? It's not letting me transform it. Hang on. Of course, it's not going to work for me now. Oh my gosh, this is not working for me. Try this again. Let's try this one more time. Cut it, files, JPEG, drag it over, bring it in front, hit Command T. It does not like this file. Let's do it over here. We'll do it over here. Ah, that's better. So hopefully you can get yours to Command T. Still won't do it. Okay, so we want to fit it in there. We're going to move the blue tie-dyed over. We're going to scale proportionally and place it with the white highlight spot just above the horizon line on the right, using the saved selection to create a layer mask of tie-dyed image to extend. So the highlight maybe just like right in there. Again, get your selection, go back to the tie-dyed, create that clipping mask. Set the layer blend mode to luminosity. So we're going to set it to luminosity, which is all the way at the bottom. Like so. Almost done here. So we need to make sure that you can see the orchids. So let's see if we need that on top. Let's go ahead and erase some of this. So get your B tool. Actually, we need this to go away. And so we could bring back in the flowers appropriately. So I'm just using a clipping pass to get those to go away. And the same with this. Looks like I still have some there too. There we go.
What kind of chips are you using? Colby.
So then you can kind of see through this how to make it
Fritos.
like what you're missing.
There's only sun chips and
And again, I
sun
went too
chips.
far. So just make sure your lines are smooth.
What kind of
You have a horizon, and
Potato
like
chips and
I would almost even go in
different
closer.
version of potato chips. There's potato chips and different versions of potato chips. And there's popcorn.
sun chips? Sun chips. No,
Like,
no,
I'm not gonna do it for the sake of you guys watching, but I would like for you to go in here and fix the blue line because you really do have some
Brothers.
bad color
Rice Krispies.
happening in there.
What?
So I would really try. I mean, you could try
There's no 7-Up.
to go in here and get your wand tool to select that blue,
There's no one.
kind of like so, and then go to here and get your tool again. And then you could just get that a little bit closer. That's a good way to do it if you wanted to do it. And see how that's a little bit closer. So try, work on that to make that a little bit better. Okay, so almost done here. Add the picture of the orchids to the image. We're going to use the layer mask to only show the center 3 orchids. So the example again is the orchids. So we're going to go File, Open.
So Cheetos.
Orchids, Open.
Only 2 chips left.
And we want the center 3. So you could go ahead and do the clipping pass here. Get your magnetic tool. And I'm going to do it really fast so we can finish this. And see, I mean, the magnetic tool really does do a good job for the most part, especially if you can do a clipping path. But you want the center 3 orchids that are in focus. Now, if you mess up, you can hit delete and delete the points and go backwards. So there is some forgiveness with using the magnetic tool. With it selected, you're going to hit your clipping path, and then I'm going to go ahead and drag this over to the assignment. Is this the assignment? That's the assignment. And put it where it belongs. Make sure it's on top. And then at this point, you can edit the clipping path a little bit by clicking on the path, hit Select Mask, feather it, go negative, smooth, hit OK, and then it's kind of smooth there. You're going to use the color balance, modifying the shadow, midtone, highlight ranges to change the color of the orchid to purple. So we want it to be purple. So using color balance, again, we're going to right click and we're going to make a clipping mask so it just affects the orchids. Click on it here and it's not changing anything. Because it's white. Probably because it's, we need to fill that with black. I'm not sure why it did a gray. Oh, nothing wants to work today. Let's do it one more time. Color, balance. Nope. Now where did it go?
Are you drawing on the table?
Clean it up.
I'm gonna scream. Nothing wants to work right today. Let's see. photo filter will work. Let's try hue saturation to see if that one will work. So if we can get it to be purple. There we go. We'll just do that. Not sure why color balance is not wanting to work, but use the hue saturation, and you saw what I did there to make it purple. Oh, goodness sakes. So we're going to create a new layer, fill the selection with a dark blue color. Use gradient blur to feather edges and set the layer blend mode to linear burn, and link the orchids in the shadow and scale them 80%. So we're going to create a cast shadow, making a selection marquee of the 3 orchids. So to do that, so we're going to make a cast shadow. You could hit the command click in the mask. You can select around that again, and then we're going to fill it with a dark blue. And the color I want you to use is 100, 100, 30, and 42. Your dark blue. You're going to hit Option Delete to create a new layer. Underneath, I don't think it did it. Why didn't it? So one more time. This is frustrating. 100, 100, 30, and 42. Hit OK. There we go. Hit Option Delete. And then you have your selection. And then you were going to get our pointer and move that selection to do a cast shadow. So in the example, the cast shadow goes off to the right and does a little blur to it. So you can do that by going filter, blur, pick a blur. You can kind of play with it like that. And then you have that blue shadow. So that's how you would make that cast shadow. And we're going to set the blending mode to linear burn. Like that. And then link the orchid and shadow together. So to do that, you're going to click both of them, hold shift, and where's the link button? I'm having a brain fart on linking. There we go, linking. So you hit that. So now they will move together. So you don't have to group it. You can just link it with the chains. So that's where you link it. When you're finished, this is your finished product. Obviously, in the example, we have more vibrant colors there. So I would play with that some more. You could add a hue saturation to that, and that will bump up, I should bump up your color more. So I would play with that to see what you get from it, but you know, this is a great start. If you got all these steps, this is kind of how it should look. When you're finished, you're going to save it with your first initial, last name, assignment 4 as a PSD file, and submit the PSD file so I can see your layers. Any questions? Just ask me. All right, bye.